Hi, this is Jeff Curto, and welcome to episode number 201 of Camera Position, the podcast about the creative side of photography. Thanks for coming back and listening again. And I want to share with you a quick note that I got from podcast listener Nick. This was in response to my request for ideas for direction of camera position. I really appreciate all the people who've written in, and I've got some great ideas from you in the hopper, as well as some ideas that I already had in the hopper for camera position content. But here's Nick saying, "Hi Jeff, still here, still listening. I've truly appreciated your approach to podcasting and the content you've brought forth over the years. In 2006, I was just returning to photography in the new age of digital, and you were a great help then. Today, I'm looking for deeper what? Deeper meaning, complexity, intent. I'm not sure exactly. I'm at an impasse creatively, but I won't concede to reaching my potential. But I'm stuck. I hope you'll continue the podcast. I always feel like the needle moves forward a bit after listening." What a great note. Thanks, Nick. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate the idea that maybe the needle moves forward a little bit after listening. I think that's a pretty nice idea. But, it's such an interesting thing, and I think some of the problem comes from what I talked about in the last podcast, the problem with getting stuck. And that problem is that there is this concern we might get it wrong or make a mistake. And a lot of that, I think, comes from the way we're schooled, how we're taught that we should look for the right answer in things. Nuance and possibility and what if aren't as valued as getting the right answer, at least in a lot of classrooms and a lot of schools and a lot of offices and ways in which we conduct our lives every day. But as Sigmund Freud's daughter Anna Freud once said, "Creative minds have always been known to survive any kind of bad training." Always liked that one. Nevertheless, getting stuck is one of the biggies in terms of barriers for all creative types, regardless of the medium we practice. And while I've talked about a variety of methods for getting unstuck on this podcast in the past, one of the ones that almost never fails for me is digging deep. Digging deep and figuring out what it is you're actually interested in life, and not necessarily in photography. Who are you? What are you curious about? What is your story? Why do you think the way that you do? Why do you behave the way you do? What do you care about? What do you really, really love? And how can your photographs express that interest? Without a sense of purpose, the photographs that you make may end up being just a group of unrelated images, beautiful in their own right, of course, but I think the objective is to create something stronger, to create something with greater substance, and I think the way to do that is through this kind of self-examination. And an initial step is to find out what you're passionate about. And to get started on thinking about this, I like to ask my students and myself, when I need to get this process going, to make a list of the things that are most important to you in your life. Pretty much anything can be on the list. People, places, things, types of things, foods, whatever. But it's critical that the things you choose are things that are genuinely important to you. And you should write this list down. Physically write it down with a paper and a pencil. Even better than typing it, I think, is writing it down with a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. And once you've completed your list of what's important, then sort through that list and find at least one item that really pulls you in and offers up possibilities for photographs. It really doesn't matter what it is. It could be a word, an idea, a place, a person, an event. The key thing is that you have a strong connection to it, and it's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing on your list. And once you have that in your head, think about how that passion can be translated into a set of photographs. In other words, how can you tell the story of that passion in pictures? And then do it. Make the photographs that tell that story of your passion for that idea. Keep making the photographs until you feel you've said all that you can say about your idea. Then, once you're completed with that group of images, lather, rinse, and repeat. And do that process all over again with a new idea that follows your personal passions and interests and missions. What we're doing here is tapping into the best tool that any photographer ever has, the brain, and all of the emotions and memories and passions and joys and sorrows that the brain contains. So get with that idea of searching inside yourself to find the things that will help you make the photographs you want to make. This is what I'll be talking about, at least part of what I'll be talking about, in the talk that I'm giving at the Morton Arboretum on April 9th, the evening of April 9th, a Monday. And if you're in the Chicago area and you're near the near western suburbs of Lisle and where the Morton Arboretum is, come on by. And my talk is at 7 p.m. I guess they have some social activities before that starting at 6 p.m. They love visitors. I'll put some information in the Camera Position blog, and you'll be able to find that information there and in the app and in the PDF with the app, etc., etc. So digging deeper, finding what it is that you're interested in, and digging deeper for your own sense of personal investment in the process. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to having you listen the next episode of Camera Position, the podcast about the creative side of photography.